lift up your hips. And rest your wrists over your roller. Find your neutral pelvis while you're here. You're trying to have that pivot bone and two body hip points parallel to the ceiling, but it's okay on the roller if it's slightly tipped. If you can't quite neutral, feels like, whoa, it's a big stretch. A little bit of a tip is that it's okay. You're gonna bring both legs into tabletop. Bring your heels together, your knees apart into a little V shape. So check that V with your feet and lower one heel down and pick it back up and switch sides. One more set. And then keep both heels together. You're gonna lower both heels down towards the mat again, just like we did before we were on the roller, lying on it. It's okay if you don't get all the way to the floor. Your goal is to keep neutral, keeping that roller still. If you feel like you're starting to lose the roller, more than likely you're tucking your tail under and coming into a posterior pelvic tilt. So that's happening. And then the roller's popping up underneath you. So see if as you lift the legs back up, you really crease at your femoral folds. The pelvis stays level the whole time. And then keep the heels together. Extend your legs out to 45 degrees and point your toes. And then flex your feet and bend your knees. So imagine that zipper from your heel to your pubic bone. You're zipping up the zipper and then bend, unzip the zipper. Another good opportunity if you want to do some Kegels is here, is as you're zipping up that zipper, you're also going to draw on your pelvic floor. As you unzip the zipper, widen the pelvic floor. One more time. And then bring your inner thighs back together. You're going to straighten both knees slowly, bringing your feet towards the ceiling. And then bend your knees. And it's okay if your knees don't straighten all the way. We're trying to keep neutral. So we're keeping the thigh bone still. And just seeing how far we can straighten the knees before we feel like we have to tuck our pelvis under. So they may straighten all the way, they may not. One more time, straighten them as much as you can. You're going to lower one leg down, lift it back up, and switch legs. And again, if it needs to be slightly bent, that's also fine. Or it can be bent and then you can stretch it out as it lowers towards the floor. That's an option too. And check for tension elsewhere, like in your face, like between your eyebrows, your jaw, your shoulders, your bra strap across your chest. And say, let it go. Our tension's right here and our legs are working too. One more set like this. Then you're going to externally rotate your legs. So you're bringing the heels together, the knees a little bit out to the right and left. So if I were to flex my feet, I'd see my Pilates V, but I'm going to keep the toes pointed. We're going to keep that positioning of the legs. We're going to do the exact same exercise we did before, but instead of a neutral position with the legs, they're externally rotated. So you're going to lower one leg down, keeping that knee aimed out to the right, and then straight back up. It's going straight down, straight up. We just have the thigh bones rotated out just a little bit in the sockets. A couple more sets. And then bring the legs back to a neutral position. You're going to hug one knee into your chest as you stretch the other leg out. It could be out and floating. It could be out and touching the floor. It could also be bent with a foot on the floor, whatever feels the best. But we're going for a little stretch across the front of that thigh and hip. And we want it to be gentle. So you go ahead and adjust that leg accordingly so it feels nice, feels like a nice gentle stretch. Also watch, especially if you're going to bring the heel with the straight knee down towards the floor, watch the leg isn't swinging off to the side somewhere. See if you can really keep it like when we had our leg like lowering straight to the floor. See if you can continue having it going straight to the floor, which means the inner thigh is going to have to work potentially a little bit to keep that leg in line. Otherwise, it's going to want to swing off to the side. Also, check that your kneecap and your toes are aimed up towards the ceiling, that the leg's not rolling out. It's also just a different stretch. And either keep that leg out as you have it. Feel free to bend the knee and put the foot down. Place your hands around the other thigh. And we're going to do some circles with that ankle. Do either both knees a little bit bent, both knees straight, one knee bent, one knee straight, whatever feels best. And then reverse the circle. Then we're going to switch legs. Take that leg out, the other knee into your chest. If it doesn't feel good to have your hand over your knee, you can have your hand under your knee. And modify this leg however you need to. Adjust it so that it feels like a good stretch. Again, we're trying to keep it in line, so we lowered it straight to the floor. Watch it doesn't swing off to the side or roll out. We're trying to keep the kneecap and toes pointed up towards the ceiling. And time to stretch out the other leg. Bring the other foot towards the ceiling and little circles at the ankle. And then reverse the circle. Both legs into tabletop. This will be our last thing on the roller like this. Is helicopter. So we've done this before, but it's been a while. You're going to straighten both knees, bringing your feet towards the ceiling. You're going to lower one leg down, just like we did with the last exercise. That leg's going to swing around to the side. Both legs will end up circling into a V shape. Keep that circle going until you've switched which leg is down and which leg is up. Pause here. The legs meet at the top. Remember which leg you just lowered to start. So I had lowered my left leg, so I'm lowering my left leg down. You could lower whichever leg. And then they're going to circle out to the V. They're going to keep circling around. So now my right leg is down, my left leg is up. Then bring my legs back together. A couple more times, we're going to do the same helicopter circle. So one leg goes down, one leg stays up. They start to circle around. There's my V, my straddle split. Now the other leg is down, the other one is up, and they meet at the top. One more time, we're keeping neutral this whole time, and you decide how big you want the circle to be. You can keep the legs very narrow, you can have them very wide apart, or somewhere in the middle, whatever feels the best. Now it's time to reverse, so lower the other leg down. So now my right leg is lowering, my circle reverses. I'm going the other way, passing through my V, and then my legs meet at the top. Okay, my right leg's going to lower. Could be your left, whichever. And circle around. And legs come back together. 2 more times. And 1 more. Bring your legs back together. Feel free to hug your knees into your chest for a moment and lose your neutral. And just breathe.